In today's video, we're going to be talking about trim sheets. Now, trim sheeting is a texturing technique that you'll find a lot of game studios, AAA and indie are using to texture their game assets. If you're in the game dev space, then you've probably heard the term trim sheets a couple of times, but what exactly is a trim sheet? Trim sheet at its core is essentially just a collection of tileable materials. These are textures that repeat seamlessly so you can use them over and over again around your level. You can make them by dividing up a plane with loop cuts, then filling each section of this plane with textures and models. These components of this trim sheet then serve a larger objective. Instead of modeling and texturing every inch and detail of your environment, you can simply do some basic modeling and create a handful of trim sheets that can be used to seamlessly texture your environment. Not only is this method much more efficient for game development, it's one of the most optimized ways that you can create materials for your scenes. Now, if you're creating a low poly game with a more basic kind of art style, then most of the time you probably don't need a trim sheet. It really sort of depends on the art style that you're going for, but generally speaking, a texture atlas may be more appropriate. Link to my video about texture atlases in the description. But if you want your game's art to have a lot of detail, then trim sheets are definitely worth using. And here's why. In your game, you have a stone wall. Your stone wall contains a lot of stones. It also has a stone ledge, where the stone is cut a little bit differently. Now, if you wanted to create just one single stone for your wall that looks even semi-realistic, that can cost you upwards of 20 to 50,000 polygons. You still have the rest of your wall to build, and if that wall stretches for a couple of hundred meters, those polygons can easily turn into the millions. And we haven't even started building out the rest of the level in our game. So you can see how this can be a problem. And trim sheets are the solution to this problem. You can build out a section of your wall in a way that tiles seamlessly and bake that wall onto an image. When you include the roughness map, the ambient occlusion, and normal maps, it'll be hard to even tell the difference. By simply adopting this method, we've gone from a stone wall that would crash even the best of computers to a stone wall that any computer could render quite easily. And this is the power of trim sheets. We can effectively conserve all of the detail from our mesh and bake that into an image. That image can then be used over and over again. Because this technique is heavily reliant on UV unwrapping our models, we can take advantage of this and place our models' UVs to any section of the trim sheet that we like. If you have a well-designed trim sheet, you have the freedom to use this trim sheet in any combination. As a result of this, we are able to reuse our trim sheet without our levels looking like we've just copied and pasted the same material everywhere. Not only can we use a couple of trim sheets to texture an entire level, but it also is going to look a lot more cohesive in its art style. Hopefully I explained this well enough and you can see how effective and important trim sheets can be for game development. But how do we make a trim sheet? So this workflow will kind of vary from person to person, but I'm going to give you a basic step-by-step workflow that you can follow as you're starting out, and with enough practice and experimenting, you will likely be able to find a workflow that suits your style a bit better. So in Blender, let's bring in a flat plane. Make sure it's a standard 2x2. Tab into edit mode and create some loop cuts. I recommend snapping loop cuts to grid as it will make it easier to UV unwrap our models when starting out. Each trim sheet will be a bit different, so place your loop cuts according to your needs. Separate each section by selected and apply scale. Now you can start modeling to fill out each section of your trim sheet. It does require a bit of planning to figure out what to fill each section with, but figure out what you need and remember to use references. It's going to make modeling infinitely easier. Also, a super useful tip is to scale inwards to show the depth of your mesh. This will be baked out from a front-facing orthographic view, so it's highly recommended to do this. This is also going to help create a solid normal map at the later stages. Once you've modeled out each section of your trim sheet, you can move on to texturing. You can do this in Blender or Substance Painter, it's completely up to you. Once the texturing process is complete, you can move on to baking out your trim sheet. And again, you can use Blender or Substance Painter. Substance Painter is much easier to bake out with, but if you have a spare 20 bucks to invest, Simple Bake is an amazing add-on that you can use, and it just makes the process so much easier in Blender. If you don't have access to any of those options, I'm going to give you a step-by-step process of how to do the baking out in Blender. So, save your Blender file and copy and paste your trim sheet into a fresh project. Make sure that the trim sheet is aligned properly to your grid. Select your trim sheet, hit full stop on your numpad and go into front-facing view. Bring in a camera and press Ctrl Alt plus numpad 0 to align your camera to your view. Change the camera type to orthographic and set the scale to 2. Bring in a flat plane and place it just a little in front of your trim sheet. Create a new material for it and name it Bake. Now you want to add an image texture node to the material that you've just created. Create a new image, set it to 2048 by 2048. This will be for our color, so name it Color Map. Bring in another image texture for the normal map and set the color space to non-color. Do the same for the roughness and the metallic if you're using those values, and make sure to set them to non-color also. Make sure to disconnect any nodes connecting to the metallic input on the BSDF and set the metallic value to 0 before baking out the color map. Now you want to select the color map image node, select all the parts of your trim sheet, and lastly select the flat plane. You want to make sure that the flat plane has the bright orange outline, as that means that it is active. Go to render properties, make sure you're in Cycle's render engine with GPU compute selected. If you have an older graphics card, you can turn the max samples down in the sampling drop down under render. I see a lot of people achieve good results with the max samples of 10, but test it out and see what works for you. Basically, the more samples, the higher the quality, the slower the render. Scroll down to bake. Because we are baking out the color, change the bake type to diffuse. Disable direct and indirect lighting contributions, check selected to active, and set the extrusion to 0.5. Once that is sorted, simply hit bake. It may take a few minutes, but once it's done, go to UV editing, find the render result, go to image, and save it to a folder on your computer. If you don't see image, click these 3 lines. Repeat this step for the roughness and normal maps, making sure that you have the image texture selected of the map that you're trying to bake out, and set the bake type to roughness and normal respectively. If you're using a metallic value, plug the last node of your node group that makes up your metallic value into the surface of the material output node. If you're just using the metallic slider, connect an RGB node to the surface socket and set the value between white and black. White is fully metallic while black holds no metallic value. Select your metallic image texture, change the bake type to emit, and bake it out. One thing that I like to do, and there may be a better way to do this, so take this with a grain of salt, but I like to drag in a new window, go into camera view, turn off all the overlays, and while in material preview, go to viewport render image, and it will render the image as seen on the screen. I then save this image, and I'll show you why in a second. Now, with baking out of the way, we can plug all of our texture maps into the principal BSDF, and you will see that our plane now has the graphical data from our trim sheet. You can now add loop cuts to this plane and move the UV islands around on the UV editor, and it will project whatever part of the image that it is reading from to that face of the mesh. Now, about the image that we just rendered out, if we load that image into the UV editor, we can now see a clean representation of our trim sheet. Again, I'm not sure if there is a better way to do this, but this is just a method that I found pretty quick and easy, so yeah. But there you have it. You can apply this trim sheet material to any mesh, add some loop cuts, and move the UVs around to texture your assets, and pretty much just get creative with it. Another awesome thing now is that we don't actually have to bake these textures out anymore. You can pack this trim sheet into your FBX or GLB file, and it will load straight into Unity, Unreal, or Godot, so long as you have the texture maps actually inside of your game engine as well. And before I wrap up, I just want to say thank you to the people who have been leaving me kind comments on my videos. It really means a lot. I love working on these videos, creating 3D artwork and just geeking out on game development stuff. And being a self-taught amateur 3D artist, I feel like there is a lack of information that sort of bridges that gap between 3D art and game development. So I'm just trying to create videos as a way to help people learn things that I sort of struggled with learning and finding the right tutorial or piece of information for. But in saying that, I'm still learning and studying 3D art every day. I'm by no means a professional, but I love what I do and I want to encourage other people to learn and be better than they were yesterday. But with that said, thank you, keep learning and subscribe for more.